Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Ram. Thank you Ramachandra Prabhu for inviting me over. This opportunity associated is Vaishnavas should always be taken seriously, but unfortunately, I'm not that seriously devotee, so I missed this opportunity so many times when you asked me for that one. So I beg forgiveness for that. But this is better late than never. So I'm here among the exalted group of devotees at ISKCON, New Jersey. Is the place at Bergen, Prabhuji?
It's Bergen is the county.
Yes.
So it's called ISKCON of Bergen County.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Prabhupada's another fort.
That's really very nice. Led by you and your wonderful group of devotees. So today the topic was, where there is a will, there is a way. It's a wonderful proverb. Materially, people quote this proverb all the time. What this proverb means is that if someone is determined to do something, he'll find a way to accomplish that despite all obstacles. What it means is determination. Will in English dictionary means a strong determination to overcome any obstacles. This last year COVID brought a lot of challenges in everybody's life. It uprooted so many, the whole principles of Bhakta association, devotee association is completely uprooted, because we used to enliven ourselves with meeting each other, serving each other, cleaning the temple, everything. And that's how we prospered. That's what Prabhupada taught us. But that whole thing was shut down completely, and we were in our house. We didn't know what to do. Without devotee association, how can we do? At least personally, just chanting at home is not enough. I personally bathe in the association of devotees, indulge in listening to their wonderful kathas and everything, and improve. But that's where determination devotees comes through. When one door closes, the other door opens up. So the Zoom became our best association counter for that. Not the perfect one, but still the best one. And during the whole 1 year, I think devotees all around the world were able to communicate with each other and kept their spiritual sadhana intact for that one. Determination can be a very positive and powerful motivator. But continuing to feel determined is very difficult, especially when obstacles come. For materials, for example, from material point of view, losing weight, very difficult. At least I'm struggling for like years and years. Not much has happened. But it takes an incredible amount of determination. No, I'm not going to eat this. I'm going to go temple. I'm not going to eat gulab jamun. I'm not going to eat this fried food, all the stuff. But unfortunately, my determination is not that strong. So just like material world, determination of devotee is also very important. What is a devotion? What is a determination? That Prabhupada kept simple things. Wake up for Mangalarti, chant your 16 rounds, follow regular principles. But it gets difficult sometimes. When you start doubting yourself, oh, is this really I want to do 16 rounds? I don't feel the taste for that. I don't feel this one. And that's where the Maya captures it completely. But determination is what motivates us. If we determine, how we do determine, we associate with devotees, each other, who are like-minded devotees, who cultivate and encourage each other, which motivates us to improve ourselves, make positive changes in our lives, and increases our chance of success. Spiritually, strong will or determination is very important because it inspires us to dream bigger. When we were in the old temple in 2009, initially little did we know that we'll be setting up a new stage, a new place to welcome Radha Madhav Jagannath Nitai Gaur in a beautiful temple on Prabhupada Dham, where Prabhupada came. But initially we were just focused serving. But then as we got determined more and more, when we saw more congregations start happening, we became more determined that no, we have to think big, dream big. So we started dreaming about, how about this? We have this big temple, 200 to 300 devotees will come through. And everybody said, yeah, Haribol, very nice, very nice, very nice. But we're determined. So each time when we're motivating each other, yes, we're going to do that, that just kept going and going. And ultimately, that whole dream motivated us to become more determined. And then whole dream became a desire, and the desire propelled it, all the whole congregation come together. Our congregation is very simple. They're mostly retired people. So we were thinking that how would Lakshmi come for this big project? $3 million project for somebody. We're not like DC, like one of the richest temples around. We're just a small temple where a lot of people are very simple, not of Gujarati population, very simple at heart, but no money at all. But we're determined to make it happen for not for our pleasure, for the pleasure of that time Jagannath Baldeswar Nitai Gaur, and Jagannath is very merciful. When you determine to surrender yourself completely for him and put everything on his shoulder, he takes charge for the complete. So we were very determined, no, we have to build it there. And somehow it happens. Because we had strong determination to dream big. Prabhupada says, always dream big, but be motivated to make it happen also. So, and this is very important, that how become so determined? It's very important that we adopt determined devotees as a role models. We have so many great devotees in ISKCON. So many sannyasis are there. Pankaj Jhalani Prabhu was there, Jayapata Maharaj is there, Loknath Maharaj is there, Gopal Krishna Gosai, Radhanand Maharaj. So many amazing are there. If you see the history, life history, how determined they are to achieve Krishna consciousness, you'll get this inspiration that you will say, oh my God, this is amazing. If they could just do that much, can I do just 10% of that? So making a role model is very, very important for that, and you follow the role model for that. It is said that Tom Hopkins, a big quoter, said that I'm not judged by the amount of times I fail, but by the number of times I succeed. You see the tennis games, right? Grand Slams. You see, I was looking at that. Who's the number one? The maximum Grand Slam titles who has won right now? I think. Exactly. So there are like 20 titles they have won. Actually, he's 18. He's third on the list. There are two others, one who's there. There are 20 titles. But how many they've lost? Nobody has kept track of that. So it doesn't matter. Because the number of times I succeed is in direct proportion to the number of times I fail and keep trying. So it's very important. And spirituality, we are the same way too. If we chant our rounds regularly, without fail, read 2 hours a day, every day. And if you fail sometimes, that won't be added to your benefit. But every time you're chanting 16 rounds, every time you're reading 2 hours, every time you do seva, that is a grand slam for us. And if you keep doing regularly, patiently, persevering, slowly, we will succeed in the ultimate goal of life, to go back to Godhead. That's the most important point in life. A Japanese proverb says, fall 7 times, stand up 8. So we have fell several times when we were, several of us couldn't chant one day or something, but the next day we got up. No, I have to chant my rounds, finish your rounds. I have to read my books. When we start doing this way, Krishna comes in the Krishna super soul inside, inspires our guru, inspire us. Yes, you're motivated, but we lack sight. Oh, if I haven't done chanting today, no big deal. We'll do tomorrow, and that big deal becomes a very big deal. Slowly, you recede from the chanting. So it's so important that when you are determined, when you take a vow, I have to do this, you have to follow it, whatever. If you get like 15 minutes less sleep, so be it, but I can finish that. For example, if you can't do anything at all, and for some reason, make sure it's like a debt. When you have mortgage debt, you're always in anxiety to pay it off. This is a debt we owe towards Lord, that Lord has given us everything. Can't we just give a small service for Lord, 2 hours a day of chanting for his pleasure? In a fight against Maya, there's so many things happen, But there's only one thing you have to remember, that there's only one way to succeed in anything, is to give it everything. One way to succeed in anything is to give everything. In this material world of 100 years, I've wasted 37 years of my life. Now I'm 48, it's only 11 years in Krishna consciousness. Now I have to live like this, that I have to give up everything of mine for that, so that I don't have to take birth again and again, and go and end my life, go back to Godhead, basically. That should be a motto. Not like, oh, don't give anything, then take another birth, start again, start again, start again. No. Some people are very fortunate. They are by the mother's womb, they're devotees. But some of them, like me, are not fortunate. There's nobody to guide us. My dad was in army, so we travel everywhere, didn't know what to do. Eat all kinds of nonsense, everything. But by Krishna's mercy, somehow, by grace of some devotees association, I could get this seed of devotional service for that. Better late than never, it says that, right? So it helped me out. And it's very important that we take this devotional service seriously to heart. This COVID has really, I think it shook all our foundations completely. We thought we could do everything possible. When I was in the hospital, when we were in lockdown, complete lockdown, we used to get patients there in front of me, and I was putting them to sleep. They were so fearful because there was nobody, their loved ones wasn't there. Nobody was there, and they couldn't breathe. And when I said, don't worry, I'm there. So I used to hold their hands. Uh, and then when I was about to put them to sleep, I would pray Hare Krishna in their ear because that's the last thing they could hear. And as soon as I put a breathing tube in, they will die down right like that. So many times I had near misses where I could get COVID on there, but Krishna always protected me completely. Then I realized that, this life has given by Krishna so beautifully. And we could have a near-death experience. I could have near-death experience any day during those COVID times I was taking the patients. But he saved me every time. So that means for a particular purpose, he saved me. And similarly, all of us are like that too. We don't know when death can happen to us. We think we live forever. So many COVID patients were like 20s, 30-year-olds. Still to this day, they're dying like that. Did they expect that to die such a young age? No. Because we think that birth is a right, but death is not a right? Everyone wants to live, everyone take birth, but when death happens, everybody runs around. But the cycle, birth, old age, death is going to happen anyway. So why be fearful? Yes, you be fearful of surrendering to Maya than Krishna consciousness. That's a fear you should always have. You should be fearful of giving up devotee association and associating with materialist people. That's a fear you should have. And if you fear like that, then you'll always abstain from wrong association and you'll fulfill your obligations towards surrendering to Lord by associating with good devotees. Then you'll exceed further for that one. It says that in our fight against Maya, Maya is always instigating us. Every second there's instigation. But what counts, it's a very nice proverb by somebody had written, General Eisenhower said, what count is not necessarily the size of the dog in the fight. What counts is not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of fight in the dog. Very important. So similarly, it doesn't matter. You could be very big devotee, big dog, but if you don't have the fight to fight Maya by giving up all your false ego, everything else there, then you can fall down. While you could be novice, but you can be most humble, not puffed up, but determined to do this, then your fight inside, your small dog like you can fight the Maya completely, while the big dog can surrender and fall down. That's the reason so many devotees fall down. Because they are not determined to follow the basic principles of chanting your rounds, following regular principles, reading books regularly. Because those are the blessings of Kali Yuga, which protects us against Maya. And that's very important for that. You know what is our greatest weakness in devotional service? Lies in giving up. We give up very easily. It is amazing that so many people come to the temple, they're so serious, 6 months, they're chanting nicely, and suddenly a small instigation happens when they increase for the devotional service. And that time Maya snare come to you, because Maya is testing you, whether you're getting close to Krishna or not. And if you're getting close to Krishna, you take one step to Krishna, Krishna takes 10 steps towards you. So she wants to make sure that it hurts Krishna when you do service and then you do all wrong things. If it hurts Krishna, because Krishna is coming to you, take you back to Godhead, but you're 50% there, 50% back there. So that just causes problem. So it's amazing that some people are coming, they're regular chanting, doing service, all the stuff there, but just a small snare of Maya. Somebody insulted you right there. But what are you doing? You don't know how to do anything else there like that. Yeah, that's it. I'm not coming. I've left it completely. because we gave up completely. That's our biggest weakness. If that time we could just tolerate that urge to just give up and say, no, this is my bad, this is my karma, this is why I'm suffering for that. Let me keep going. Krishna is just testing me, or Maya is just testing. Let me keep going. Then you realize that nothing can touch you at all. This is called persistence. Because the persistence is that when you're persistent and you ignore the Maya's assault through devotees also, Maya will sometimes act through devotees and cause you issues also. But if you stay persistent, no, whatever happens, I have to keep going this path, I have to keep doing service. What has Lord done to it? The easiest thing people do is, I'm not going to come to the temple. Arey bhaiya, what has Lord done to you that you don't want to come to the temple? People, first thing is, we'll chant at home, we'll do everything at home, but we won't come to the temple. What has Lord done to you? He's there, he hasn't done anything, he's seen what's happening. But your goal is not to make, you're not the decider. Krishna is the decider. Maybe Krishna is getting rid of your egos by doing all the stuff there. But you're not understanding that for that. So it says that there is a very nice proverb which was said that nothing in this world can take the place of persistence or determination. Talent cannot. If that was the case, if talent could take the persistence, then why are there so many unsuccessful people with so much talent there? Or so many devotees? So many devotees are like great craftsmen, great musicians, all the stuff there. But because they were not persistent in the devotional service, where are they? They disappeared like a raven cloud. So it's very important that the persistence part is very important. Similarly, just like talent, genius is not. Genius doesn't, education is not. The world is full of so many educated people. Scientists, doctors, stars, famous stars. But how many of them become really famous, successful? So many have gone through divorces, so many gone through separation, so many go through suicides. Is that the cause of success? No. So that's why persistence and determination alone are the most omnipotent part. The slogan should be press on, move on, and solve the problems of human life, which is old age, birth, and death. If we can solve the problems by going back to Godhead, then all these headaches will be done. You know, some devotees became such great preacher, book distributors, gurus. They're completely surrendered Lord. They succeeded, several devotees. Why? Because they were destined to. But most of us succeeded because we were determined to. Very important point. You see, many sannyasis are there, are gurus, everybody else there. Most of them had sukritis from previous life. There is a great saying in Vrindavan, Vinod Babaji. He says that to become really advanced in Krishna consciousness, your sukriti is very important for that one. That is true, to become a very exalted devotee. But Krishna is so merciful. Yes, if you have sukriti, that's good. But even you don't have that much sukriti, but you get association of pure devotees, and you're determined in that one, you can still succeed. Most of us are in that category. We don't have much sukritis, but we're very determined. That's why we are here listening to each other and listening to Krishna Katha all the time. So then it will exceed further. For the devotion, the most important part of a motivation devotion is what? A desire. I have a desire, Ekadashi is coming for example tomorrow. I have a desire to make some special cake, some pizza, all the stuff there. That's your motivating factor. Even though you're trying to avoid grains, but you're motivating, I'm going to give this to Lord. But the motivation is so that your belly can be filled also. So that's your desire, right? So that becomes, desire is like motivation. So desire like this is motivation. But if there's no determination, then what happens? You cannot pursue your goal, you won't be successful. You decide, okay, I'll make pizza, all this stuff, but you're not determined in the morning. You wake up in the morning, oh my God, I'm so tired. Maybe I'll just make a regular baked potato or something else and eat that one. So because your determination or persistence wasn't there, so what happened? You could not pursue your goal. And thus you didn't get successful making that completed. So that is very important that anything you do in devotional service, this is the most important fact, is that determination is most important. Whether you desire something, say you desire a temple, right? Very soon, ISKCON Bergen will be getting a temple, hopefully in near future, whenever the time is right. you'll have many of you have desire there. Once your community becomes bigger, strong, when you have sufficient devotees, everything, you'll make a temple. You have a desire. That desire will give you motivation that you'll collect more people. You start working on that. But if your determination is not there, no, we have to do it there. Whatever happens, we're going to make it happen. It won't happen. So these are all factors which is very important to make it work for that. You know, there's a shlok in Bhagavad Gita 6.24, which says about determination very clearly. It says, Sa nishchayan yuktavya yogo anirvin chetasa. What is it? Nishchaya. Nishchaya means determination, that one should engage oneself in the practice of yoga. Which yoga? Bhakti yoga. In what way? Anirvin chetasa. Chetasa means mind. Nirvin means deviated. Anirvin means undeviated mind. So when one is determined to be determined to have devotional service with the undeviated mind, then without exception, then one can progress in devotional service for that. So in this verse, Prabhupada writes very beautiful purport. He says that the yoga practitioner should be determined all the time, but he should also patiently prosecute the practice without deviation. What he means is that the yoga practitioner should be determined, but he should also patiently prosecute the practice without deviation. That means your 16 rounds, your regular principles, that should patiently keep doing there. Sometimes you don't feel the taste for that, but be determined without deviation. Oh, you know what? Oh, there's a movie coming, there's my friends coming. That's deviation for you. But you're going to stop that completely by patiently. No, it's okay. If you don't taste, just keep chanting. It will happen that slowly, when you start, mind will tell you, go out. You say, no, we have to do it there. Slowly, when you start chanting, what happens? Then your mind becomes so focused and peace. And then you later on, when you finish the round, I'm so glad I did. I feel so good. Otherwise, if you don't do it, the next day, you say, there's something wrong with me. You know, it's amazing that when I go to work hospital, right? Sunday, we go to our temple is open till like something 8:30. So wake up in the morning, do like 16 rounds, then go to work. There's so much positive energy. So I go there in the operating room and say, let's go like that. So nurse is saying, come on, doctor, we are tired. How much caffeine did you take? I said, we take spiritual caffeine, not like material caffeine like that. So this is the difference that, you know, when you get this, your body becomes spiritualized by this chanting in the holy name, and your complete conviction, determination that whatever may, I have to do good rounds, quality rounds, then you'll see that your life will change. Your your enthusiasm towards work will change. You'll be more enthusiastic towards work, you'll be more productive towards work, because your whole body is called detoxified from material thoughts. And when you detoxify, when you're completely purified, then what happens? Your one point attention, you'll be surrendering your work to that and do the best from there. It says that one should be sure of success at the end, pursue this growth with great perseverance, and never get discouraged when there are obstacles are there. Because obstacles come to the most rigid practitioners also. If we see the lives of our gurus, how much obstacles they did to fulfill the desire, we are reaping the fruits of that. If you Loknath Maharaj, what he created the place, Padiyatra used to do, Mayapur, Vrindavan made a beautiful, so many temples, Gopal Krishna Kumar made 15 temples, Radha Maharaj, so many great saints. How much they went through. Radha Maharaj struggled through so much time going to like Himalayas, everything else, finally met Prabhupada. So this is all amazing that how obstacles were there, but the key part was that they're determined to follow the orders of the Guru. At any cost, Prabhupada said, we'll do it there. And they become successful. Now we all reaping the fruits what they did. Bhakti Charu Maharaj. So the important part is there, Rupa Goswami says very nicely, Utsaya Nishchaya Dharya Tat Karma Pravartate, right? Sangha Tyaga Santyad Satovritti Shadvi Bhakti Prasiddhyati. So what is the most important part? Utsa, enthusiasm, and second, Nishchaya, determination. You should have enthusiasm to cultivate devotional service, but determination to fulfill the devotional service. Okay, I have enthusiasm to chant 16 rounds. What is enthusiasm going to do if you are not determined to follow through completely? So it's very, very important. These 5 and 6 principles of devotionals are very important. Utsaha, Nishchay, Dharya. Dharya means patient. Patience. You can finish 16 on the morning, that's okay. Four rounds, do that like this. And ultimately you reach the rounds. You'll finish the round. And you see, guys, you don't have to sit all the way to 16 at one time. It can be difficult. Then do 4 rounds. What is 7, 8 minutes, 30 minutes one time, then 30 minutes later, 30 minutes later. In no time you'll be done. The whole day will pass so nicely. So that's a key part, but be patient. Don't be, oh, I haven't done that. No, do. But be enthusiastic and determined. I am going to do 16 knots at any cost. And then you'll see that how much you can work. So it's very, very important that this determination to follow prescribed duties of ours can take us to the next level and to the next level, to the next level. As we talk about, we talk about the determination. Many of us heard the story of the sparrow. Prabhupada writes beautifully in the 6.24. What did the sparrow do? The sparrow laid eggs on the corner of on the beach, like on the ocean. What did ocean do? Take all the eggs in its waves. Sparrow asked the ocean wildly, "Please, can you return my eggs?" Ocean didn't even care for that. He said, "Look, if you don't return my eggs, I'll dry you up." People start laughing around. What the heck is Sparrow talking about? She's small sparrow. This ocean is huge. There's no end to it, and this will dry up. But Sparrow what was the big quality? Was determined. Whether I live or die, I'm gonna get my eggs back. What did beak by beak this much water she's taking out. She kept trying. A lot of people, birds, anything else, everybody's looking at that ocean was laughing. Aquatics in the ocean were laughing like that. But what happened? When you surrender, when you're persistent on something, then the Lord also responds. So Lord's vehicle is Garuda, right? So when he heard that the bird is doing this, he came down and he saw the persistence of the bird. So he told the ocean, look, this bird can do this much, but I can take the whole ocean 1 second. You don't give the eggs away, I'll dry you up. Ocean got scared and gave the eggs back. So that's a moral story, is that the strong determination by even a small living being can make great decisions in life, can be successful. We are small living beings also in this food chain. And if we're just determined to make sure that our life becomes successful by being complete in Krishna consciousness, avoiding association which is contrary to that, and keep doing a chanting sincerely, following regular principles, then you will see that just like Garudev helped the sparrow, super soul will be helped to us by our Garudev is our Gurudev. Gurudev will help increase further for that one. So there was another verse which was there, which is very beautiful. 9.414. It said that Satatam Kirtantya Mam Yatantasya Dridvata. What is Dridvata? Means Vrat is Vrat. Wow. Drid is strong. So strong determination. Namaschinte cha Mam Bhaktaya Nitya Yukta Pasate. So they're talking of quality of Mahatma. Who's a Mahatma? Who's always Satatam, always Kirtan, taking glories of Lord. How? And endeavoring by being very strongly determined for that one. So always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination. These Mahatmas always worship with great devotion. So we all can become Mahatma like that. We all can do that. This says that who's a Mahatma? Mahatma is one just who was very determined and always chant the glories of Lord 24 hours a day. Is it difficult for you to? No. If you have this, you have such a opulent, such a wonderful association. I've seen so many, like 15, 20 devotees were there in this association. Whatever you guys doing is great, like associating with each other, listening through Zoom, and come and serve and do all kinds of services. So you're always chanting glories like that. And then you're endeavoring strong determination to make sure you follow regular principle, chant your rounds, everything. Mahatmas cannot manufacture like rubber stamp, Prabhupada said. Like an ordinary man comes, oh, Mahatma, and he becomes Mahatma. No, it doesn't work like that. His symptoms are described there. And Mahatma is always there. But such a Mahatma is firm determination that come whatever may, I have to achieve the ultimate goal of associating with Lord. And for that, in any of the rasa, I have to do everything possible to make it happen. Through my mind, body, and soul, I'll make it happen. And then Krishna becomes very pleased. When you give the whole mind, body, and soul towards him, then it becomes really amazing for that. In devotional service, there are certain activities which are called determined. Like, what do? We fast on certain days. Janmashtami fast at midnight. Narsingh Chaturdashi fast at evening, dusk or something. These are determinations. Nirjala Ekadashi without food or water. So these are very determination thing, which is they were very determined. And this is what they're talking of being a Mahatma. Mahatma is not like somebody is Mahatma. Very simple. You follow the regular principle, the Chaturmasya, follow the things which is very simple. I was just reading today, Chaturmasya, green leafy vegetable during this month. Milk, not milk product, they say only milk. You can have like rasgulla, all the stuff there. So if you don't like milk, you can have oat milk like that. So the next one, yogurt. You can have yogurt, but you can have yogurt preparations. So each month is very simple. So these are things which please Krishna a lot. That we are doing some austerity for that, not for our own stomach, but for his pleasure. And when we do this kind of austerity, small things, like my friend Mohit is there. I was just talking to him, like I think a month back, and I was just randomly telling Mohit, Prabhu, why don't you take Ekadashi Vrat or something? And it was amazing that he said, he got inspiration. He said, okay, Prabhu, I'll do it there. And then he said, what do I eat? I can eat potato only. So he just eat potato days. So he was so determined. And look, now I see him like, he's just going amazing. He's chanting for his round. He's doing more seva. Because he was determined to do Ekadashi, pleasure of Lord, Lord gave him the inspiration from inside to do more and more. He's like one of our star devotee who's always serving there completely. Similarly, we have, I don't know, Mataji, Shalini Mataji is there. I think she was supposed to join. And like Shilpa Mataji, she just joined like 4 or 5 months back. But she got so determined because she said, I'm going to Nirjala Ekadashi. She did Nirjala Ekadashi, and I don't know how many 40, 50 rounds she chanted for there. Like within 3, 4 months. I couldn't even dream like that. So this is what happened when you determine to please Lord for his pleasure, then Lord from inside give you enthusiasm, give you determination, make it happen, that you be successful for that one. These rules and regulations are not manufactured. They're given by the great acharyas who have also followed this through an inspiration of Lord. Raghunathas Goswami, great austere, most austere person. Like you can ever hear that. He was the richest person. He's more than richer than Bill Gates or anybody else. Not Bill Gates, what's his name? Steve Jobs, whoever it is there. One of the richest person around. He left everything and he was sitting in Jagannath Puri temple with his servant. He kicked out servant because Lord Gaura wasn't pleased. He was sitting on the stairs where prasadams come through and is sitting there and eating and waiting for people to give prasadam, like begging. So when he was eating and Lord Gaura said, you're doing, so he was okay, but he felt he's not pleased. So what he did next, he gave up that habit. Then he waited for people to eat the food, and whatever left over, even they throw the food on the ground, it's smelling. And even the cows won't eat. He was picking that food and boiling in water and trying to eat that. One of the richest guy in the world that time. The salary was 150,000 rupees something a day, a year something, which is like billions of things. So it was just amazing that how amazing it was that they were doing this. And that was just amazing. And then not even that. So after that, Lord Gaura became so pleased with him. He said, you can eat alone. You can't eat alone this thing at all because I need to have part of it also. So what he did was, as he was eating, he took part of it and ate it. Then Raghunath Goswami went to Radhakund. There he's only drinking buttermilk throughout the day. Then when Goswamis passed away, he stopped taking buttermilk only one time of water or something. When everybody passed away, he was living on air only. Now you can think about, as a doctor, how is it possible if somebody can live on air or without water? If you see 80% of our constitution is water. If you don't drink water, how can we survive? But when Mari Rate Krishna ke, Krishna, if Krishna has to kill somebody, nobody can stop. But Krishna saves somebody, nobody can kill them. So that's what happened. So that's the most important part for the devotees is there. So these regulations, if you have complete surrender, Lord, not for show off, oh, I did this. Other thing, a very important point. When you chant extra rounds, don't try to boast, oh, I did 64 rounds like that, because you lose all the potency. This is between you and Krishna. You're not here to boast. This Krishna conscious movement is about humility movement, not a boasting movement. You encourage, I said, I did extra rounds, but don't have to say that I did 64 rounds. 16 rounds minimum is 16 rounds. Anything else is a bonus. So keep doing and keep encouraging other people for that one. then you can see you can advance further for that. You know, it is amazing. Prabhupada said one time that this devotional service is not easy, but it can be performed in a happy mood. Who thinks it's so easy to wake up in the morning, 3:30, 4 o'clock, get ready, chant your rounds, make prasadam, no onion garlic, you can go out, you completely ostracize yourself completely, right? Very few places make even vegan food without onion garlic. But it is done in a joyful mood, because when you do austerities, you try to avoid all the stuff there. What happens? Your heart becomes happy because super soul is happy. And super soul is happy, the whole body becomes so much in charge with that one. So one does have to do some austerities, but always guided by an expert guru. Then he can teach you. We saw austerity of determination. You know, there are several people who are so determined. There's some on the impious side, some on the pious side. If you see on the impious side, there was Hiranyakashipu. He was so determined that I'm going to defeat the demigods, everybody else there. So he did tapasya for how many thousand years. So when Lord Brahma came through, what did he say? That, you know what, hey, son of Dhriti, with the great determination, you've done what is impossible for even a saintly person. See, mark this point. Hiranyakashipu was so successful because he was so determined that even many saintly person was not determined. That's why Brahma came and gave him whatever boons he wanted for that one, even though he couldn't give him complete immortality, because he was determined for that one. But similarly, if person like Hiranyakashipu, biggest demon of all time, could determine, could sway even Brahma, or Ravan, for example. Ravan was praying to Lord Shiva and he wasn't coming. So he was determined to please Shiva. So what happened? He didn't care for his life, determined. He cut one head off, another head came. He cut second head off, came through. Third head, fourth head. 10 heads came through. When the 10th head was cut, then Lord Shiva gave pleased with him and say, what do you want? He said, I want immortality. He said, I can give you that, but I can give you that you're immortal to the demigods, but you're immortal to human being. So Lord Ram came as human, we killed him. That's why his name is Dashanam. But important part is there, those 10 heads came and stuck to him, and those 10 heads show something special. Each thing tells you one thing, what? Material life. What is it called? It says Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Matsaya, everything. So they're different. So each face of Ravana teaches you all these are things: calm, krodh, lust, anger, envy, greed, like that. So we have in our lives also all these 10 heads are staying inside of one head. When we as a devotee also sometimes become envious of some other devotee when he's succeeding. When we as a devotee become mad at somebody else for no reason and insult a devotee and their devotee leaves completely. When we as a devotee we become really lusty for something which is not desirable at all, then it happens, it kills so many devotees' faith in you. So these are all the stuff for that. Then we become so proud. I'm the biggest speaker. I'm the biggest thing. I am this. I am this. All this pride. So we become like those Ravan. So ultimately, this whole thing will be destroyed by Krishna. He will destroy all this stuff ultimately when we surrender to him. Until that time, if you don't surrender, we don't surrender to Guru, what happens? These 10 evil forces can really cramp our devotional service, and all these weeds will suffocate us completely, that ultimately you won't even have taste for Krishna conscious or chanting. You see so many devotees, Prabhupada devotees, I see that nobody even, so many of them over the time, this weeds suffocated them completely, that so many fell down, so many couldn't follow up, because the basic purpose they forgot completely, of being humble, being tolerant, and thinking that this is not me, this is my Guru, the Prabhupada who did that. And if that is the case, like Prabhupada never give credit for himself. He said, my Gurudev empowered me all the stuff. That's why he could follow everything. He could be successful everywhere. Success didn't go his head. So we have to have the same thing. Whenever somebody praises you, don't feel, oh, my ego is satisfied. Oh, that's good, I feel good. No, just say that I'm nobody. And just say, please, Prabhu, don't please praise me. Because that will give you false ego, and Maya will capture right away after that. So it's very important for that one. So these are like two people we talk about, determined, who are very determined, but impious determination. So even though they're determined, they achieved what they wanted, but ultimately lost what they gained because of their impious desire. But on the other side, we had determined devotees like Dhruv Maharaj. We all know about story of Dhruv Maharaj. Then how, at such a short, small age, a 5-year-old, he just wanted to sit on his father's lap, and his stepmother just chastised, said that you cannot in this life sit on your father's lap unless you're born from my womb. And that 5-year kid was so insulted that on suggestion of his mother just left everything to find Vishnu. At 5 year age, he was determined. Narad Muni said, "What are you doing, my son? They're dangerous animals, they're snakes, they will bite you, they'll kill you right away." But he said, "If you can teach me, that's fine. Otherwise, I'm going to keep going." He was determined. I'm going to find Vishnu, Lord Vishnu. And what happened? Narad Muni realized that he saw his determination, and he gave up in his determination, gave him away. And by his determination, he even got Lord Vishnu in front of him. And then Lord Vishnu said, "What do you want?" He wanted a kingdom greater than his father's, right? But then when Lord Vishnu came, he said, "What do you want?" He said, "I was looking for pieces of glass. When I have the beautiful diamond in front of me, in front of you, why should I ask for glass pieces?" So that's a great determination, Dhruv Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj had 7 days to live after the curse. He left everything and he was fasting because he was determined. He said, "Whatever, I'm going to find I'm going to find the essence of the devotional service. I'm going to find the essence of this human life." So he's fasting until death. So through inspiration of Krishna, Sukadeva Goswami came and gave him the inspiration. So he could get completely liberated for that one. So this determination got in there. No one other than Haridas Thakur. How many rounds used to say 300,000 names of Lord every day used to chant that. Even though he's Lord Brahma his previous life, but because born in Mohammedan family, he could not see Lord Jagannath. So Lord Jagannath came to him all the time for Lord Chaitanya. And so you stay there and you see the Neel Chakra, and from there you see me completely all the time. He chanted 300,000 every day. Even towards the end of his life, and Lord Chaitanya asked him, "What's the mood today?" He said, "This body wants to give up. But I'm diseased. I can't give up, Lord. But when I want to give up this body, I want to see you." He was lying down and still chanting the name. So Lord Gaura was pleased with him. So he came in front of him and just looking at him, he gave up his body. That's the thing that, that our life should be molded like that. That every second we should always chant the Hari's name. Every second. What is that beautiful song? "Jab pran tam se nikle, mukh mein tulsi se jal ho. Mera savarya nikat ho, jab pran tan se nikle."
Yes.
That when I'm dying down here, my Lord will be in front of me. That's my success of my life. If I could just do that, that'll be the most successful thing. So we should mold a life like that. That whatever happened, we should not give up a chance. We should determine 16 round means 16 round. Ekadashi 25 round. Extra austerity. Control your food habits. Control, restrict that. Good association devotees. Stay away from all the stuff. If we can do that, that will give us a way to Golak Vrindavan. But if we cannot do that will, we could be going through another species, or not another, at least human form of life again and again and again. Right now, we're in the golden age of Lord Chaitanya, 10,000 years. But after that, what will happen? It says clearly, Bhagavatam, it will be so bad, the devotees will be hiding inside the houses, doing hidden chanting. Right now in America, we are doing Harinam all the time. Right? Don't care. We did Rath Yatra, no care. But a time will come when the golden age will be gone. And then what happens? At that time, we'll be scared. There's no Rath Yatra is going to happen. We'll be sitting inside doing mini Rath Yatras inside the house. We don't want to be in that life at all. But we can even openly chant the Lord's name. We'll be hitting inside our house and doing that. That time is not far away. Only 9,500 years left only. So we don't want to go through a situation like that. So for that, we should improve our life in this life. We should try hard that in this life, this is the last life. And after that, we're going to go back to Krishna. We don't want anything else there. Or wherever you want, I just want your association. If you don't want, I don't want to go to Golak Vrindavan. I don't want I only want where my Savara, my Krishna is there with me. Where my Lord Chaitanya is there, so I could be a mission for that. Just like Prabhupada said, I don't care. I'm not fearful if I'm dying because I know I'll be always with my Lord all the time. That should be our mood. And if we promote this mood like that, then we can be very successful in devotional service and move forward. But this is there. The devotees, COVID was an eye-opener for us. So many devotees we lost also. So many stalwarts we lost also. But they have gone to Godhead. But so many devotees who could have gone back to Godhead, their life was cut short by this serious thing. Our lives could be cut short any day. We don't know. If you're not determined, if you're not desirous to go back Godhead, then who will give you this inspiration? Super not going to give you inspiration. If he thinks, oh, our family, let's take our family. When we extra time, we'll do that. Or when we grow older, then we'll be more serious. That time won't happen. You know, time doesn't wait for anybody at all. Each second gone, you can even you buy time back for $1,000,000. One of my dear congregation devotees is here. He was very close to me. He was multi-millionaire. He unfortunately had a cancer, and then he came. So I met in my hospital. He had to be intubated, and then as we were discussing that, he said, "I don't want to die. I don't want to die." He said, "I have millions of dollars. Please get me a ventilator which will fix me." And I was just thinking that time, look, he spent all this time of his life just making money, all the stuff there. And if he had done that, Krishna consciousness would be helpful. But still, because he was very supportive of the temple, he used to give donations. We know that his next life, he get a good human form of life attached to devotional service. So that is one extreme. Sometimes you don't even have that split second. Sometimes a split accident can kill you. Or COVID, look at COVID. The COVID is so classic. You know, King Kulakshetra's prayers are complete coming true. What does it say that, Lord, let the swan of my mind be entangled in the lotus feet of in the lotus feet? Because when death comes and my mouth is filled with all this mucus, everything, how can I change your name? So I saw with my own eyes that if anybody has seen the ghastly thing, that's like a death in front of you. When COVID patients, they were like, food was coming out, secretions coming out. They couldn't chant anybody's name. They couldn't even talk. Do we want a situation like that, whether it's old age or disease? Before that, we should pray to Lord, Lord, please give us that whatever second happen, whether distress or not, we always remember you all the time. And even we cannot say your name, in the mind, our name chanting should go on. If we can cultivate this habit of ours, then we can become successful, we'll be determined. But we have determined every day for that. I think it's 9:21. I think we'll stop right now. But I think just want to say that, you know, determination is an asset for everybody, whether it's material person or us. If we are strong-willed, if we surrender to a guru and Krishna, and we say, Lord, every day is a new day, and we determine in the night time, we say, no, tomorrow morning, I'm going to do better rounds. I'll do more reading. I'll do more service. You will see that you get the inspiration, and Super Soul will give you inspiration that you will do better rounds the next day. You'll do better service, and you'll be able to read also. You'll see miracles will happen somehow. Even you don't have time, time will come and give you all the opportunity. So my devotees, please be focused on this life. In human life, you don't know what can happen. 2 years, 10 years, 20, 30, 40 years, we don't know what is written for us. For each one of us is different. But whatever we have, you know, the family, everything we left completely behind. What we deal with family, kids, all the stuff is going to be left behind. What we left with us is this Sukritis. It's service to Krishna. That is going to go through. You do philanthropy, it's going to come zero after death. But you do Krishna consciousness, it always comes with you completely. So please be determined, please be focused that you can advance Krishna conscious, make your life successful. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Nilamadhav Prabhu, for a very energetic class. I was noticing you didn't pause even for a second, and thoughts were just coming out because you practice it. And when we practice, it's easy to speak what we practice. I'll just take a moment to make some of our upcoming announcements before devotees leave. And after that, if anybody has a question, please be ready with it. So let's go to ISKCON.org. So some of our upcoming programs, this coming Sunday, we have Srila Prabhupada disciple, His Grace Shamik Rishi Prabhu speaking at the center on the topic will be the incorporation of ISKCON, Sunday, August 1st being the actual day, 1966, ISKCON was incorporated. So the struggles, Prabhupada's vision, etc. will be the topic for this coming Sunday. And then Sunday, August 8th will be Her Grace Arundhati Mataji. uh, she'll be speaking. And the rest of the activities, we have Bhakti Rikshas every Friday. We have different Bhakti Riksha groups. You can go on here and see which one you would like to plug into. Our morning japa session from 6 to 8, Bhagavad Gita reading on weekdays from 12 to 12:15 during your work time, busy times. Just take a 15-minute break. And I also texted our YouTube channel where you can view all our past speakers and our Facebook page. Thank you. Abhay, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for this wonderful class. Two things, Prabhu. First thing was that when you brought down the after the 10,000 years and there won't be any more, we can't do the programs that we usually do. We cannot do what the others. That actually, a little fire in me that, I should pursue whatever I'm doing without, wavering. And my second question is my first question is, I had to ask was that since I'm going to school, I'm going to college, I'm going to be around a lot of non-devotees. I'm going to be around in that space for a pretty long time, right? So, and I'm going to temple every Sunday. I'm going to Bhakti Vriksha. I'm attending classes, and I will be in situations where I may question sometimes, like, oh, what is whatever I'm learning at temple, true? And at times I do, and I just feel terrible sometimes. Why am I questioning this? So how can I not question at the same time, strongly pursue the path of Krishna consciousness without, any doubts whatsoever? So can you please answer that question?
Thank you first. Congratulations going to college too. I know that you're going to do very well anyway, and you seem very sincere soul, so I'm sure of that. So, Prabhu, one thing very important is the devotee association. Even you do in college, it doesn't matter. We all went through that one, and honestly, you will always associate with non-devotees everywhere. But the goal is that Prabhupada gave a small example. One devotee asked Prabhupada, there's a bar in France. Can you go preach there? Prabhupada said, you can go fishing, but don't get wet. So you could be around many non-devotees, but don't get carried away with their sangha or something where they're, because if you see in non-devotees or karmi people, only thing is like just women, food, drinks, that's what they're talking about, gambling, like those are things which is there. So you be there, like be friends with them, but be detached from them. Because you can be a loser completely. They say, oh, look, he's a loser. No, your goal is bigger, you're higher. Your goal is to make them into devotees, ultimately. So how can you do? By your grace, by you lead the way by them, not them they lead the way. So you do, the most important for you is to your sadhana is very important. In college, try to do, I know it may be difficult for that. Just pray to Krishna, is going to help you. Make sure you try to chant your round, follow regular principles. And then when you come into temple, are you going to local college or outside college?
Local, Prabhuji.
So that's perfect. So look, you have wonderful association devotees on Sunday. You Ramchandra Prabhu, he's like a stalwart figure. You have anything, you take guidance. Whenever there's distressing mood where you feel like, oh, I don't know if Krishna conscious is right for something, always associate with a devotee who can guide you through. That's the most important part. When you start using your intellect, like I don't have intelligence. Anytime I have some doubts, I call my Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj, what can I do? What can I do? He said, oh, I said, no, please guide me. I have no idea. So you become like a person, because sometimes we become so, oh, I think once few years later becomes a Krishna conscious. I think I know the answer already. No, always think you don't know anything else there. Then you will see that automatically when you become humble, everything will open for that. So key part for you is 2 points. Keep your sadhana strong, seva. Whenever the weekend, if it comes a Sunday, do seva. And that seva will keep you the whole 7 days, will protect you. So, this is my thought process, which I've learned over the hospital. When I go to hospital, first after chanting in the morning, I go to hospital. So initially I have a lot of energy because the positive energy is flowing, right? Then later in the day, as the negative energy is coming through all the stuff, your positive energy starts coming down. So what I do, I go, Krishna give you a room. So I go there and chant a few extra rounds. I get energized again, go out and deal with all the stuff. Then I say, whatever, come forward for that. So similarly, whenever your energy starts going down, chant your name and you'll be successful for that.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. That was such a perfect answer. I mean, you answered every point. So thank you so much, Burju. I'll stick to that. And yeah, thank you. Hare Krishna.
For those who joined a little late, my introduction, I had mentioned that Prabhu is a doctor by profession. He's a chief assistant at the Sinai and Northwest Hospital in Baltimore, anesthetist. So, very, very demanding job, very stressful job. And despite that, he's also the president of Baltimore Temple, and he was the main force behind building the new temple there. So, Vijay Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you. Wonderful class. So, I'm kind of trying to figure out, you've been emphasizing a lot on determination. So what would you feel the key ingredient to have determination in the spiritual world? See, in a material world, you have profits, money, dollars, So how does one get that key ingredient, the seeding of determination? What's your take on that, Prabhu? And wonderful class again. Thank you.
Prabhu, in my life, I'll be very honest. After going through, I've experienced all the nasty things in life. When I became devotee, like in short time before, like the thing which I wasn't determined for devotional service at all. But one thing somehow which struck me was to do seva. And believe it or not, I used to go to temple and I used to just clean pots. And when they saw that there's a pot washer, they used to bring more pots for me. And used to keep pots washing for like hours and hours like that. And I realized that the seva factor is so much because when you're cleaning or doing any kind of service, it's cleaning your heart. When you're cleaning the heart, your enthusiasm coming out, determination coming out. Then I started associating devotees. And I think these two factors, seva and associating devotees, give you the right determination to do whatever you want.
Yeah, Prabhu, thank you. I think I completely agree. And it's such a coincidental thing. The first thing which I also got introduced in Seva, Ramchandra Prabhu teaching me do pot washing and doing the right way, and it was fun. And so true. I appreciate this. Thank you again. I hope Krishna gives you all the good health and keep spreading this consciousness everywhere. Thank you, Prabhu.
Blessings, Prabhu. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you.
Anybody else has a question or a comment?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this is Shalini.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much Prabhuji for such an inspirational and motivational class. It was very enlightening, Prabhuji. So I just have one question. In fact, so whenever you associate, like I also work, go to the office and associate with all these non-devotees. And my first instinct is like how to get them into Krishna consciousness, right? Because you are so motivated and you know the benefit of it, right? How you are so focused, how you can focus yourself more at work. So you always try to, at least with the Indians there, right? You always try to give them this feeling of going to temples, and when you are more associated with that non-devotee, then you ask them to do chanting and all that. But one very basic question that all the devotees ask, like I say that there is a theory of reincarnation, right? So they, one theory everybody says, how do you know that there is another birth? This is the life that I have been given, and we are having a very opulent life. Why don't we enjoy to the fullest? We are wasting our life, like other people are going and after work doing all this fun activity, and then you are going and to the temple and doing the stuff. Means enjoy this life. Why bother about the next life? Take the fullest of this life. So then it becomes difficult for, like, obviously you can continue arguing, but the point is not to argue. Point is to give them a very concrete answer. So what should be that answer?
So Mataji, I think for this, every person, I feel one thing is there, Vaishya Prabhu says one thing, there's something of ripe fruit and unripe fruit. Ripe fruits are those have done some sukritis in a previous life. And when you go in front of the person, that person may argue a little bit, but after that, he'll become really supportive of that. But the unripe fruit, you do whatever you want, whatever asking you do, they're not going to agree to that. Like I remember in the old temple, there was a guy who used to come. He was a Mayavadi or something. So I explained to him. He was convinced, but the next day comes and starts the same rag again and again, even though they get convinced. So some people you can never convince whatever you want. Your goal is not to get dejected, because if, like Lord Gaura said, one time to, who was it? he was talking to either Sanatan Goswami, I don't know who, Lord Gaura. He's saying that, what will happen to all these people here? If I deliver everybody, then who's gone with the material world completely? So that question is that everybody got delivered. Only certain set of people will delivered who have previous Sukritis or who are associate devotees. Because other people, their Sukritis are not there, so you just pray to Krishna that help them out. That's it. But yes, when the question, there are different ways to answer this question for that one. The one way is there that, you can ask them, you can give the difference, okay, what's it between you and an animal? If you're doing this, you're doing that, so what's the difference? You're the higher thinker. A human life is given for higher thinker for that. And then you tell them, birth, old age, disease will come through that. How are you going to handle that? If you get disease, what happens? If you see the most people, devotees were the most calm of all. But I saw the fear in all these materialist people so much for the COVID. To this day, you talk to them, they get so nervous. But devotee says, yes, there's nothing to worry. What is that? Katha, it says that devotee is always shant because it's nishkam. There's a proverb in Chaitanya Charitamrita, bhakta nishkam atev shant. So that you have to explain to them. When you do without desire you serve, you become very much peace. These people think that just drinking, smoking, everything is giving them happiness. But that's a temporary happiness. You ask them, is this happiness will be forever or be temporary? But you say, my happiness is always there. So are you foolish or are you smarter? Do you want to have always like Mercedes-Benz in your house, or you want Mercedes-Benz today and then tomorrow you're walking on the road or on bicycle? How much you are hurt? Just think about it. A person, the richest person in the world, right? And suddenly he loses everything. What will hurt him most? Or the poorest person who becomes rich? If poorest person gets rich, that's no big deal. Okay, he was poor, didn't expect. But rich person becomes poor, he suffers the most. So these people, when they're saying they're enjoying, but when they suffer, they won't be accept that completely, because they have tinges of happiness. They're not happy all the time. But you, devotees, always happy. So the tinge of distress doesn't distress them at all. So you have to tell them this thing. But despite that they don't understand, love lost. The key part is there that you don't engage too much with them, that you get distress in their association for that. Our goal is to preach to them, but not at the cost of like you getting distressed for that. So I hope, Mata, there's no perfect answer about that. For my limited knowledge, I was trying to say for that.
No, thank you so much, Prabhuji. It definitely helps. Thank you so much.
Welcome, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. First of all, congratulations on a wonderful Rath Yatra. I and my daughter were in Baltimore for the Rath Yatra, and we were also there at the Catonsville Temple for the boat festival. So I got to see you and your team, your leadership skills along with the team, and spoke to so many devotees. Didn't get a chance to connect with you. So my question is that, so I saw you and your team full of energy and, Josh, and till very late in the evening, you all were cleaning the park area, the McKeldin Plaza. And I thought, and I was thinking, I was tired. And I was thinking that I didn't do too much service. And how come all these people have so much energy? Everybody was smiling and offering food, boxes of, things. So my question is that, you've been serving as the president for last 12 years, I guess. So what keeps you determined? What's your secret?
I think the most important part, in devotional service is your sadhana. The thing which makes us fall down is the false perception that I'm a good sadhak. You should always think that you're the lowest of all sadhak, that your chanting is not the best, and you want to strive for more. You should always strive for more and more. The problem happened in ISKCON, or many devotees is there, when they become complacent. Oh, I'm just chanting, and suddenly they will have less taste. They'll be sitting somehow with a phone, all this stuff. The key part is that morning, away from all the gadgets, just really focus and listen to Prabhupada, very important. And the second thing is there, as much seva you do, the more it will get you more enthusiasm. What I've seen in my life is that Jagannath is my like Ishdev. I love Jagannath a lot. So whenever there's a distress, I just tell Jagannath, you need to take care of this. Jagannath, you need to take care of that. And then when I start serving him after that, he gives you so much inspiration that you can stop. So you have your Ishdev, everybody is a Ishdev. You pray, Lord, you have to do, just talk to him like that, and then start serving him really lovingly. When you start doing that, you will see the deities open up your heart and just start responding to that. And to this day, I have never seen, that Lord has ever said no to anything at all. He's so merciful. As long as I'm not asking material desires, then he doesn't fulfill at all. But otherwise, he does. And then the more I do for him, or we do for him, the more you get inspiration to more and more. So like that Rath Yatra day, we were up since, I think, early, we worked till like 12, I think 10:30, 11. Then we came in the morning and then worked till late night, then be ready next day. But, ultimately, even though I was exhausted when I flopped in bed, I had no energy at all, but got up in the morning. It was the most amazing experience I could ever have. It was so happy. So when we met all the devotees, they said, Prabhu, we are exhausted outside, but inside we are just eternally happy. So the key part is there, just your sadhana and your seva has to go hand in hand. And the more seva you do, the more it is there. And the most important one which I learned is to help everybody connect to the seva. Don't think it's handle it. Like sometimes, oh, this is my garland, say this is my garland seva. Why should you do that? No, the more you give, the more you get actually. So key part is that give to everybody so that everybody gets fulfilled. If you're feeling so happy, why would be so selfish not to give to somebody else? So give their happiness to others and make them happy also. And then you see the whole world will go with you and do that. That's my answer.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Amazing answer.
And I do want to add about Neil Prabhu. You asked him what gives him the energy. Is the purity in his heart. The love and care he gives to everybody around. You should come on Sundays and you'll see the energy in that room where people love him and respect him back. And because he started with that, and I'm the example coming to the temple for the last so many years. Sorry, I spoke out of my turn.
Moy Prabhu is very nice. He always glorifies for no reason.
Jai Draupadi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Wonderful, wonderful class, Prabhuji, very nice. And you quoted the words perfectly. It fits on you. Utsaha Nishchay Dharya. Yeah. Enthusiasm, determination. Very nice, Prabhuji. I don't have question. I want blessings. Please bless us so we can do the same as you are doing.
We need each other's blessing. This world, we need to help each other's hand so that we go to Krishna completely. Let's all be holding each other's hand and help each other so that if anybody is falling, we hold him, bring him back so that nobody falls on this path. That's what should be our goal, Mataji. And we pray for each other so we all are successful. This world, this journey is a journey towards Prabhupada, and Prabhupada will take us to Krishna.
That's true. Thank you.
Anybody else? Any last question? Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hope to meet you soon sometime. Please visit us if you're in the area. Thanks. So thank Prabhu for the loud Haribol. If you can unmute yourself.
Haribol.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Wonderful class.
Thank you indeed.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
All glories to Sambhav devotees.
Krishna Prabhupada ki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.